This question is popular today. 2 people emailed me about this question. I think one person just needed the second part, but I'm going to go ahead and just do the whole question here, okay? A student in a zoology class took a final exam. I feel like this one I'm going to need to write some work down. All right, hold on. I'm going to bring my notepad. They took equivalent form of the exam at monthly interval thereafter. But the thing is, you're going to forget about what you learned a month ago or 2 months ago or 3 months ago. So I'm thinking the score will go down, right? I mean, right after you took this class, you did a very good job. But like a month later, you forgot a little bit. So I'm expecting the scores to be going down. Okay. All right, hold on. So what do they want? After T month, the average score S of T as a percentage was found to be given by the following function, where T is greater than or equal to 0. Complete part A through E below. So here, let me go ahead and copy this equation down. This may be different from your exact, but this is one equation one of my students emailed me. So 81 minus 13 times natural log, and that's not IN, that's LN, okay? So when you guys are typing that into MyLab, 1, okay. And look, they were bothering these students for the next 80 months. Really? Wow, okay. So what was the average score when they initially took the test? Initially is T equals 0, right? So for part A, all you have to do is find S of 0. Plug in 0. That's going to be 81 minus 13 times natural log of 0 plus 1. You can use calculator, but look, natural log of 1, that's just going to be 0. So we're having 13 times 0. So the initial score must be just 81. So I'll type in 81% for my first answer and go on to the second. The second question is asking, what was the average score after 4 months? All right, I will need to find S of 4. I gotta plug in 4. And for this one, I will need a calculator. I will do 81 minus 13 times natural log of 4 plus 1. That's gonna be an ugly decimal. So let me go type this into a Desmo Scientific calculator real quick, okay? (81 minus 13 times ln 4 plus 1), that comes out to be 60. Okay, so only after 4 months, people are scoring 60% on this exam. Of course, that makes sense. They forgot. That makes sense. Oh, no. Oh, they want me to round it to 1 decimal place, so I'll round that up to 60.1. Gotta pay attention to this rounding. 60.1. All right, what's next? What's the average score after 24 months? Now for part C, you see these first 3 parts are not difficult. We just have to plug in these numbers. 81 minus 13 times natural log of 24 plus 1. And I already have mine typed up in Desmo, so I'm just going to go and change that 4 to 24. And the score comes out to be 39.2%. So after 2 years, they forgot it all. They got like less than 40% right. Okay. 39.2. What's next? Okay, now they want us to find S prime of t. How fast the students' scores are changing with respect to time month. Okay, let's do the derivative now. All right, so this is what you have to watch and learn. This was the asynchronous lesson for this week. You have 81 minus 13 times natural log of t plus 1. Let's find the derivative of this. All right, what about the derivative of 81? That's just going to be 0, right? So we don't really care about this 81 anymore. Doesn't matter. But what about the derivative of negative 13 times natural log of t plus 1? Well, that's going to be negative 13 times. Remember what you do, right? If you're taking the derivative of natural log of something, you're going to have to make this into a fraction first. 1 over that log argument of t plus 1. And you need to multiply this by the derivative of that argument, which, d dt. And the argument was t plus 1. So let's simplify this. This is going to be negative 13 times 1 over t plus 1. Now, derivative of t plus 1, that's just 1, isn't it? So nothing really happened in this part. Now, if I put all these together, I will put negative 13 on top of the fraction and t plus 1 in the bottom of the fraction. So that's the derivative function. That's how fast. I mean, if you plug in a number in there, that's going to tell us how fast student scores are decreasing as month goes on. So let's see. Negative 13 over t plus 1. So you had to, if this work that I just didn't make much sense, then I want you to definitely go back and watch those videos I posted for on lesson 2.3 this week, okay? All right, all we have to do now is plug in s prime of 4 and s prime of 24. So let me do that. What is s prime of 4? That's going to be negative 13 over 4 plus 1. That's negative 13 over 5. And while at it, let me go ahead and find the other one too. How fast are these kids forgetting what they learned? Now, 2 years later, negative 13 plus 25. So these are the number answers. I'll go ahead and type those in. Now, they wanted integer or decimal. So, okay. So I'm going to have to put that fraction in decimal. Okay. All right, let me see. What is negative 13 divided by 5? That comes out to be negative 2.6. Okay, which means after 4 months, the average score is decreasing, because this was a number, by 2.6 points a month. And as prime of 24, if I divide 13 by 25, because they want decimal, negative 0.52. So it's decreasing slower, right? It's still going down, but I guess like after 2 years, what stayed with them is probably going to stay forever. They're going to remember this thing from a zoology class. So like in the beginning, they forgot about a lot of these like factual things I never really connected to. But I'm thinking like after 2 years, they still remember some stuff they learned 2 years ago. But those things will probably decrease at, they're going to forget about these things at a slower rate, I'm thinking. So it's still decreasing because the symbol is negative. And the point is 0.52. So that's how you can do part E. And you know what? That's it. That's it for this problem. What I think was challenging was the part D, where you had to find the derivative of this natural log function. So if you need more examples of that, let me know. But once you find that part D, you are able to use that derivative function to figure out how fast these people are forgetting what they learned by plugging in the numbers they gave you. Okay?